Here we are with some more variations of all this. And in the book, for your homework, and on the quiz, there'll be all kinds of ways you'll see these worded. I'm not going to give you a big wordy thing on here. I'm just showing you how much you're going to get. 250 milliliters. I don't say what kind of IV fluid. And the book, it tells you, the name of the patient. Mrs. So-and-so is going to get blah, blah, blah milliliters of something or other. They tell you the name of the IV fluid. That's great. You have to know all that in the real world. For doing here, I'm going to conserve ink. I'm going to conserve space and time by not doing all that rigmarole, but realize that'll be there. And it can be worded in all kinds of different ways. But I'm going to give this 250 milliliters for 90 minutes. Now I'm going to give, of course, I still need always how many milliliters per hour. The previous one was when we had, the previous lecture video, was when we had less than 1 hour. And we were told how many minutes. Well, this is more than 1 hour, but it's still in minutes. Well, I can do it 2 ways. I can probably do it about 10 ways. I'll show you 2. We can take 250 milliliters and divide by that in minutes. Just as if it was less than 1 hour. If it's given to us in minutes, I can take milliliters, divide by the minutes. When I divide that out, of course, that will be the number of milliliters per minute. Well, let's see what that is. If I take 250 and I divide it by 90, well, that's 2.77777. Have fun. A bunch more sevens. Repeating 7. 2.7777, it goes on forever. But that is milliliters per minute. I need milliliters per hour. How do I convert milliliters per minute into milliliters per hour? I multiply by 60. Because once again, even in Texas, there are 60 minutes in every hour. Even leap year. Same thing. So I'll take this number as is. Don't round that number off. Leave it as it is in your calculator and just say, well, times 60. And the answer is 166. I'm repeating 6. Now only do I round off. Only round off the final answer. I round this off to the nearest whole number, which is this. But since the next number is 5 or more, I'll make this the next higher number. What do I call that? Of course it is. I call it 167. You can do that. But what if I were to do this and just take the number of milliliters, 250 milliliters, and divide by the number of hours? Well, you probably know this. How many hours is 90 minutes? It's an hour and a half. Of course, you can't punch in 1 and 1/2. What is 1 and a half as a decimal number? 1.5. That's 1.5 hours. So I can either do it, divide that by the minutes that you're told, then convert that to mils per hour by multiplying by 60, or divide by the hours directly. Well, what is 250 divided by 1.5? Well, amazingly enough, it's 166.6. What a coincidence. It's the same answer. Either way, I hope you got this. Yeah. Doesn't matter which way, just be consistent. If you're dividing by hours, that is mils per hour, and that's the answer. If you divide by milliliters per minute, you must then convert to mils per hour by multiplying by 60. Well, here's another one. You hanging on here? I have 400 milliliters divided by, 2.5 hours. Well, hours. I'm dividing by hours. How many hours is that? Well, 2.5, of course. To punch into here, it has to be as a decimal number. Divided by 2.5. You got that. 400 divided by 2.5. You probably know that in your head, right? That's 160. That's it. Doesn't go on. That's already a whole number. I program into my machine, whatever that machine is, 160 milliliters per hour. Oh, another one of these though. Here we go back to the previous lecture video. That's less than 1 hour. So every time it's less than 1 hour, I must take milliliters, and I must divide by the minutes. Of course, that will be milliliters per minute. We'll do it anyway. 35 divided by 25 is sometimes known as 1.4. It stops right there, 1.4. 1.4. But being milliliters per minute, I now have to convert that to milliliters per hour. Let me point out, you may see H for hour or HR for hour. Either one's acceptable. 1.4, now I must convert that to mils per hour by multiplying by 60. And the answer is 84. That comes out a whole number already. That's a 4, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. Pitiful, lousy teacher. Goodness, what sloppy, nasty stuff I got there. Okay, no rounding off at all because it's already a whole number. I hope you're catching on to this. The main reason I hope you're catching on is because one of these days, I may be your patient in a hospital bed, and I want you to do this right. I said this a long time ago, but when you walk into my room and you're my nurse, I want to be able to go, I remember that name, and you took me back way back when. Come on in. I don't want to go, whoa, you're an idiot. You made a 54 on your final. You're stupid. I want you to learn this stuff really well. So learn this stuff for my sake, for your sake too, of course.